everyone, welcome to my corner of the world. Well, we have a new catalogue released today, June the 3rd, 2020. Lots of lovely goodies I'll be sharing with you over the coming weeks and months. But somebody asked me a question the other day. What is the difference between the cling stamps and the photopolymer? And I thought, well, it's time perhaps I just did a little video just to explain to you what is the difference. So the first one I'm going to show you is the photopolymer, and this is what they look like. They come clear. You'll see that I've actually used this one quite a bit, so that's why it looks a little bit discolored. It does absorb usually any red pigment in the stamps, but it doesn't affect how they work. It's not going to transfer the color. So this is how they come. You just sort of peel back the film and then just gently peel them off of the backing. And then I recommend, when you attach them to a block, is that you lay them down flat on your work surface and then pick them up like this, and that way they will stay in their normal shape, because they are so sort of wiggly, flexible, I think is the word I've lost. Because they are so flexible, if you do place them down, then you can find that they can get a bit distorted. But having said that, if you do deliberately want something to curl round a bit more, then you can just work it and curve it even more and then gently press it onto the block, and you'll get an even better curve on there. So you simply then you'll use those for your stamping, and then to clean you can use your Stampin Scrub. So on the Stampin Scrub, you've got a wet side. If you look, this is raindrops, and on this side I think it's got sunshine or something. Anyway, there's a little mark. You'll just put a few squirts of your Stampin' Mist. This is a very old bottle. I think this was in my starter kit from nearly 10 years ago, but I've been able to sort of just refill it over the years. And just a couple of squirts, and then just gently rub it, and then dry it on the other side, and then pull it off, and oh, wrong one, and then just put it back on its little this little place. You'll see, you should have seen that they've all got their own little marks, so you know where they go, and you know if one is missing. So if you haven't got one on each of the little marks, then you need to go back looking on your workbench to see what you've lost. So just to give you an idea, with this Field of Flowers stamp set, this is a card that I created using that stamp set. Okay, so then we have our cling, and this is the cling stamp set. And when it comes, I'm going to show you this one first. When you open the box, you'll have a sheet of labels, and then you'll have a sheet of, I think they're probably laser cut stamps. Okay, so you then I like to mount mine on the labels. Some people don't, but I like to, because then I know when I flip it over that I have got the right one, and if it's words, it's the right way up. That's happened to me a time or two. So I'm just going to share with you how to mount the stamps. Oh, excuse me, I just pushed my stool back. So the first thing I do is I remove the stamps from the holding sheet like this. I left 4. I started doing them, but I left 4 to do. And then you're gonna find the label for that particular stamp. So I'm going to do this one. It says Comfort and Hope. So this is the Comfort and Hope. And if you look real carefully, you will see that there's one side which is just solid, the bit that you can actually read through. But the other side, if you look, there's actually a cut. It's outlined, and there's a line. Now you're going to just peel that off gently, either side, like that. And then there's a backing sheet on your stamp. So you're going to just gently remove that. And then you're going to line up the edge of the sticky label with the stamp. And I'm not really pressing terribly hard. You can just maneuver it like that. Then I flip it over and I press it really firmly, and then take that off, and that's all nicely lined up. So I'm going to do another one. Now, if this was a really big stamp, I would do it slightly different, and I'm going to show you how I would do it with a bigger stamp, even though this is actually a smaller stamp. So my other one is well, I think it's like leaves or maybe a pine cone. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's very organic. So I'm taking the back off again, and again I'm going to find my middle line, and this time I'm only going to take one side off. This gives me more control. I'm going to line up my top of my leaf and that side leaf and my stem like that, and press gently. And then I can go in and remove the other side and then press it down firmly, and everything will be in the same place. Now it doesn't work, it's a bit fiddly with a smaller piece, but when you've got a bigger stamp, that works really, really well, and you're not having to try and look at all sides of the stamp at the same time. So I'm just going to press this down firmly and then just gently peel it back. I've got 2 more to do, but I won't do those just yet. So when I've actually done my stamps, you can pop them on here and they will cling when you close the box. But I like to take my backing sheet or the main part, and take the backing sheet off of it like that. And then I just line it up inside my case. And then I'm going to put all of these in there, and that way when I'm packing up, if I'm missing one, I know that it's missing and I can go look for it. Otherwise, it tells you on the outside how many stamps are actually in the box, but I don't want to have to count them. I just want to be able to glance down and see them. So that is the cling stamp, and they fit exactly onto a clear block. You can just place them down. You don't necessarily need to turn them over, or you can do them like this, nice and firmly. You can use your Stampin Scrub to clean, as well as your Stampin Mist. Again, you're just going to clean like that and dry like that. You may be interested in knowing that these pads actually can come out, and you can pop them in some warm water, let them soak, all the ink will lift off, and then just rinse it several times, and then just leave it to dry overnight, and then pop them back in. So you know, you can clean it real easy. Now when it comes to taking these off of your blocks, you need to be really cautious, because the stickiness is really, really good, and if you pull them off too harshly, especially when you've been stamping and you've obviously been putting pressure and it's been sticking firmer and firmer onto the block. If you're not careful, if you pull them off too harshly, you can find that the foam, there's a little foam layer between the rubber and the adhesive, can actually tear off. So what I recommend is that you get your pick your tool or something with a flat surface, and you're just going to gently ease it underneath, and I'm just gently sort of picking it up like that. And when you've got a nice big piece, then you can just lift it off and everything is good. All right then, so that's the difference between the red rubber or cling and the photopolymer. And this is a card I made with that stamp set I just showed you. It's kind of well, it's a bit of a masculine card. I find it difficult to make masculine cards, but this particular stamp set has got all sorts of lovely textures, as well as some nice words in a good font. If you know me, you know I like nice curly fonts. And so those are my two cards, which I'll also share on my blog if you follow the link below this particular video. Well, I'd like to thank you very much for joining me. I hope you found this interesting on how the difference between our stamp sets are, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.